Let's talk.
I spent 15 years in the TV and film industry. The more successful I got at editing and producing other people's movies, the more I neglected my own. So I decided to change that. 5 years of writer's block, four screenplays abandoned. Then one night, an idea showed up and wouldn't leave. Now I'm writing a feature. Dark, strange, mine. Hollywood doesn't want you to make their own films. They want you to ask for permission. But I'm not asking for permission. I'm building it myself, one page at a time. That was my crappy impersonation of the guest of the today. He's a reality TV editor, film editor, much more. He's a new dad. He's a filmmaker. He's a very talented guy. He does some of my favorite editing. Not that I'm God and, decide who's a great editor, but Bravo thinks he's one of the best editors. So he obviously, knows a thing or two about a thing or two. He's the head of Night Drive Productions, George Taramas. For people who've been sleeping under a rock, who are you?
Thank you. Thank you. That was a really good impression, by the way.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So, I mean, I think you covered all of it. I'm a independent filmmaker, and I'm a working reality TV and a film editor. That's
Right.
the bread and butter of the stuff that I work on is editorial. Um,
Mhm.
I I cut Bravo shows. I've done a couple of Netflix shows and Travel Channel shows. And I also have been filmmaking since I dropped out of college 20 years ago.
Oh,
So,
wow. I didn't know you dropped out of college. Well, speaking of that, because, some people nowadays, I think it's becoming more trendy to be like, college is a scam. And I've thought that for years and it's a business. And, if you're going to be a dentist, you got to go to college. But college, it might be a scam. So speaking of, for people who have dropped out of college and aren't aware of Microsoft and other companies, you created, really, I think it was one of my, no, it was the first film that I ever saw made by someone I knew. We went to high school together, and it's called Demented. And
yep.
I thought it was so incredible. The lead actress was beautiful and sexy, and she was engaging. And I was like, I'm not gay, but I could understand, people switching for this girl. And it was really just so well done. And I was in DC teaching workout classes, and I did some Fox 5 news stuff and, Avon and live events, but I was not in the film industry at all. And I thought this was so cool. I'm like, how did they do this? So, yeah, Demented was a really cool short film. You did it, what, 2009-ish? Can you tell us a
Uh,
little bit about that?
yeah. So 2010, actually.
2010. Okay.
And I
Okay.
got to give credit to my partner on that movie, Michael Russo.
Right,
Uh,
right.
we had made so the year before that, we made a super ultra low budget feature film that was really bad. It was so
Oh,
bad that Bloody Disgusting called it the worst movie of 2009.
I
Yeah,
gotta see this.
I try to scrub it from the internet. It's pretty bad. But
Oh, come on.
I'll say this, I actually found a stack of DVDs and I'm thinking about remastering it and re-judging it up. So, because that was the first thing that I did
Right.
when I dropped out of college, got a regular job, bought a camera, and just started shooting shit.
Ah,
That was my film school. I emptied
wow.
the bank account, teamed up with Mike, and we shot this feature film, super low budget. And it was fun,
Wow.
but I learned a lot. But I was so gut punched by
Oh,
Bloody Disgusting, the website that I read every day. They finally
ah,
cover, our movie and just completely dragged it through hell. And I was really upset for a while. I actually was considering not making movies anymore. And
no.
then I had that moment to myself. I think I was like driving at night, just like thinking about it. That's what I do to get ideas. A
Mm,
night
Night
drive,
Drive. Yeah.
and it's cool visuals.
Yes, it is.
I was like, you know what? Fuck that. I could level up. And that's what me and Mike did with Demented. We were like, all
You
right, let's
did.
do something shorter and let's like really dial it in and make something really good. Funny
Yeah.
enough, um, Dread Central saw the trailer for it. It's a short film, but I was like, fuck it, let's make a trailer. Dread
Yeah, yeah.
Central somehow saw the trailer and like wrote about it and like how cool of a trailer it was. Then Bloody Disgusting writes, "Hey, look, the Night of the Living Heads guys just made a really cool looking film."
Ah,
And I was
that's
like,
cool.
oh, it just kind of came full circle. So I didn't
Yeah.
stop after that.
You know what though? For comeback stories, I love a comeback. Um, I wonder if you would have tried as hard if you didn't have your ego gut punch so badly. Would you have tried that hard to make Demented and all your other films if you weren't like, oh, I'm a freaking loser?
It's a good question.
I don't know.
It's a really good question. I don't have a crystal ball, but who knows? Like I
Yeah.
really was feeling like crap. I internalize a lot of stuff. I could be going through hell and you just wouldn't know it. I just
Hmm.
got a thick skin or whatever. So like
Hmm.
inside, I was just like, this sucks. Um, but it goes to it. It speaks to like something I've kind of been a message I've trying to been making with some of the videos I've been posting on my YouTube recently, which is don't give up, don't stop.
Yes.
You just
Yes.
keep going. Like the worst things could happen to you, especially as a creative, and you got to remember why you're doing this, and it's for yourself. Yeah, we
Yeah.
want to make money. Like obviously, I wanted to be a filmmaker because I wanted to move to Hollywood and become a big time producer. That didn't happen, but like at the heart of it, I still just love telling stories and entertaining people. So you
But
just can't give
you
up.
know what? Your family's here. I believe in family. Your family's here, and if you go to Hollywood, my uncle's in Hollywood. He was a camera op for Dr. Phil and Oprah. You don't need to be in Hollywood. And
Yeah,
I will say, as far as being gut punched, I had one guy break up with me. He did come back, and
yeah,
so I technically have never lost a single guy in my life. Whatever. But the point is, I'm not gonna say what year it is, so no one can figure it out. But he's the only guy that ever broke up with me. And again, he came back. But the way he broke up with me was basic. I was disabled at the time. I couldn't really walk. I couldn't work a job. I wasn't really doing much with my life at all. And he basically, in so many words, right around Valentine's Day, was like, and he was very successful. He's voted all these different things and like probably multimillionaire, all this stuff, whatever. I don't go for money, but he went after me. Okay. The point is, he basically broke up with me being like, yeah, what are you doing with your life? Even one of the things he said was like, yeah, you're modeling or something, but you're not modeling for Adidas. Like if you're modeling for Adidas or like some $10,000 deal, he's a very superficial, rich,
yeah,
like Elon Musky type of guy. And I was just like, I can't walk. I'm in pain every day. I'm disabled. I'm depressed. I just moved back to New York, so I started my life over again after being pretty successful in the fitness industry and not being disabled and being a little conceited and high on my own supply. And it brought me down. But I will say, the point is that if I wasn't gobsmacked and just like so feeling like such a loser, I wouldn't have tried so hard back around 2013-ish for that comeback. So it was actually one of the best things that ever happened to me. And again, he came back. So it was like, but whatever. So sometimes I think it might be a good thing if you feel
yeah.
like that in life, that you
Oh,
need to do more, do more.
I said this to my nephew once. I was like, failures are a good, it's a good setup for a comeback. That's it.
Yes.
Like that's all failure is. It's that,
Yeah.
just because you fail in class or at a job or at something you're trying to do doesn't mean it's over. It just means it's
Yeah.
time to make a comeback. And everybody loves a comeback story.
And maybe you wouldn't get to level 25 if you weren't knocked down to like level negative 35. So switching gears entirely. Now, you are the editor of one of the most successful shows on TV, of reality TV also, Southern Hospitality, and also you edited The Housewives of Atlanta for Bravo. I watched a lot of Bravo, mostly Vanderpump, no shade to you and Housewives
Oh,
during the
Vanderpump.
pandemic, eating bowls of cheese just to like forget about the pandemic because I thought I was gonna, die. I bought into all the BS of the pandemic stuff. So now, as far as editing goes, I'm sure there's a lot of nip slips. Like I imagine there's boobs flying all over the place. Like how many nip slips do you think you had to edit out of this Real Housewives alone?
On some shows, on Housewives, yeah. Because the women are very yeah, they got
Spilling
they
out.
got great figures, okay? And
Yes.
and they're beautiful women as well.
Yes.
Housewives Atlanta, loved the cast and working, editing that show. A lot of the outfits are very form-fitting, so a nip slip will pop up, or some of the antics that they get into gets a
Hmm.
little more, the partying goes hard sometimes. Although they kind of matured a little bit by the time
Oh,
the last season I edited. But tell you, the
interesting.
biggest thing I had to cut around was like a 12-inch dick at a at a bachelorette party. Yeah.
A real one?
Oh yeah. And there's no blurs on the camera footage, obviously. So when I get the raw footage, I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, wow. And they
They had
couldn't, they, no, they
a
can't make
male
that.
stripper came and danced around. And I was like, yeah,
Oh,
he's not gonna get naked, and he got naked.
you don't
So
think it was a prosthetic? Because if I was a
no,
male stripper, I would put that on.
that wasn't. I
No?
not a prosthetic. That was
Oh.
an
Oh,
impressive.
well, that's something I've never seen. I don't know if I'll ever see it, but he's seen it, so you could ask him all about it. All right, that and back to less trashy questions. Now, what's just one more interesting thing about this Bravo editing process that was interesting to you?
That was interesting to me. That I encountered. Well, one thing was really cool, and I totally wasn't expecting this. This came straight out of left field. And this is actually how I am in an episode of Black Mirror.
Oh, uh-huh.
Great, I love that show. The second part to the SS McAllister, is it the McAllister? Do you watch it? The Star
Uh,
Trek.
I'm I'm gonna be honest with you. I watched one episode, and no shade to Matt Damon. There's a guy who reminded me of Matt Damon, and I just wasn't
Okay,
enjoying looking
yeah,
at it,
yeah.
and I just didn't want to watch it, and I just got turned off. Sorry.
It's the McAllister story with the spaceship, and then the people that like jack into it. It's a video game,
Okay,
and
okay.
uh, you jack into it, and like these people are trapped in it by this bad guy. So the people on the spaceship, they're watching Real Housewives of Atlanta, season
Hmm.
14. And I was like, oh shit, look, they're watching Housewives, because I see like the bumper come on,
Oh,
and then
cool.
it goes to the scene, and I was like, that's my scene. Like I edited, like that's the episode I edited. So
That's cool. That's
that
cool.
was like a real straight out of left field. I can't believe this is on Black Mirror, and it's the episode that I worked on.
Wow. Okay. And also, sorry, Matt Damon. It really doesn't bring me any joy to insult anyone. And to redeem myself, I'm watching Behind the Candelabra, which is the Liberace biopic, or I can't tell if it's satire or real. I think it's satire. It's insane. But Matt Damon is in it, and he's killing it, and he's amazing, and he's fantastic. And Michael Douglas is in it. If you're not watching this Liberace Behind the Candelabra, I don't know what you're doing. This is fantastic. It's hilarious.
I've seen parts
I
of
don't know
it.
if I'm supposed to laugh. I don't know if I'm supposed to laugh or I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, all right, back to you, George. So, what do you have going on creatively, personally, right now?
Yeah, it's a good question. I've got something in the pipeline. I pivoted to TV editing and film editing. I've edited other independent films for people as the means to like survive as you get
Hmm.
older and pay the
Yeah.
bills. And so I kind of lost control of my own personal projects for a little bit.
Hmm.
And every time I tried to write something, I just had a long time of not really loving what I write or following
Hmm.
through the end. So just this year, I had and not an aha moment, but what I call like a download, where you're just like, the idea just comes to you,
Yes.
you know,
All the time.
even like not when you're not necessarily at your desk, or it comes to you because
Yes.
even though you've been failing at really seeing a project through, or you still put the effort in to work.
Hmm.
The universe sees that and is like, here you go, and they just download.
Yeah.
And I call it the download because it's like almost the whole concept just comes into your brain in that
All
second,
the time.
and you just
Yeah.
see it. So like that kind of happened to me. Um, I went down on this little rabbit hole and came up with this awesome concept for a feature film that I'm
Hmm.
currently writing right now.
Hmm.
Uh, I'll keep the name and the plot to myself just for a little bit because I want to get further along in the script. I'm in the middle of the second draft, so like I'm almost there. Um, but as I was writing it, I said to myself, you know what? Now's a good time to just, why don't I document this?
Yes.
It's been so long since I've written something that I was really motivated for, and also since I actually created something for myself. So I sit in this office 10, 12, 14 hours a day with cameras around collecting dust.
Hmm.
I started recording myself going through the process, just B-roll, grab the microphone every now and then and just like say what's on my mind and what stage I'm at. And I started posting that on my YouTube channel, just
Cool.
kind of like documenting the process. And if anyone's out there that cares about it, they could tag along and follow. So
Yeah.
what I'm working on, I'll give you a little piece of it though. It is it's a self-contained World War II movie.
Oh, okay.
Self-contained because it's all takes place in one location at a secret military laboratory during World War II. And it has to deal a lot with the business of war and when like protocol and bureaucracy of the
Hmm.
army meets something they can't really contain. There's like a secret
Okay.
experiment going on,
Oh, interesting.
and it deals a lot with grief,
Hmm.
duty, and yeah, it's really good. And I'm hoping. I know World War II is ambitious,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
people hear that and they think like beaches and bombs and war. So that's why I think having it self-contained in one laboratory location will help me when it comes time to, start planning how I'm going to make it.
Yeah. One location is, I try to always make the least amount of locations and least amount of people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
just the
definitely.
locations alone contribute.
Yeah, you want to do that, especially on a low budget scale. But I think this also lends to the whole story as well because these people are kind of like locked in this room, this
Mhm.
laboratory, dealing with something that they created, and the war is like the backdrop. It's just
Okay. So
it's really I love it. I hope other people love it as well. Um,
honestly, everything I've seen you do, I think I've really enjoyed it. I don't know if I'd say I love everything you do, but I really liked almost
that's
everything
okay.
you've done.
I
It's
hate
not
everything.
boring. Well, the best people do. But maybe I'm really horrible because I like a lot of my stuff. I'm very, but I also hate a lot of my stuff. So there's a balance. I hate a lot of my stuff. I was just thinking. But anyway, we have a couple minutes left, so I'm gonna get a little woo-woo metaphysical on you. So you said you had like downloads. I totally understand that. I woke up with some of my best jokes in the world, just like crazy, just in a dream, or it almost feels like someone gave it to me and then weird things happened and weird synchronicities. I'll mention someone's name and then they'll call me, very specific people. I haven't heard from them in years. Uh, Weird things have happened right before people died. I had like seven people all basically give me the same message to basically make funny videos. And then they died and maybe I didn't hear from them for 3 years. I mean, that's a whole nother thing. So there's a
Yeah.
lot of metaphysical stuff that I've
What a punchline.
experienced personally. Now, you said you got this download, and I don't think you were around in World War II. Do you think that it was given to you, or do you think it's just coincidence, or do you think there's someone that is like around you that's a ghost? Do you believe in ghosts? Like, what's the deal?
100%. I do. I do believe in ghosts thoroughly. I have, paranormal and UFOlogy is a
Mm,
strong hobby of mine. Uh,
mhm. Me too.
so I definitely believe in spirits and all that. Did someone send that to me? Not sure, but I do also believe in the power of the universe. And the more you stay true and honest to it, and you keep pushing yourself through the obstacles, the
Hmm.
universe acknowledges that and finally sends you a bone and says, "Here you
Yeah.
go. We saw
Oh
you
yeah.
struggling with X problem and
Yeah.
you ate shit for a while and you probably didn't understand why we put you through it, but you had to go through that. And here you go.
Hmm.
Here's the
Yes.
download." So, and like I
Yes.
went on a rabbit hole. I always go on rabbit holes when I'm scrolling and researching ideas and stuff. And I came across one thing that was just really fascinating. And as I got deeper and deeper, it's like in the back of my head, in my subconscious, it was just fleshing out the story. I didn't even know it. So that
Interesting.
the next day I woke up and I was just like, holy shit, that's a movie. And that's a full idea. And then boom, 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 just little by little, the more I sat with it and started taking notes, it just kept coming. I
Very
very
cool.
rarely do you hit that moment where everything jives that you're putting down and everything is
Yeah.
tracking. But usually
Yeah.
there's, weeks of just tinkering and does this work?
Mm.
What if this was just like, no, this, I can't take full credit because I have a colleague, a friend of mine, Jason Rice, who's a
Hmm.
screenwriter that did help me with the ending, the finale.
Okay.
I have to give him full credit for that, but he thought it
Yeah.
was an awesome idea. Um, and then I was just bouncing stuff with him back and forth. And he's like, dude, this is your ending right here. And he's threw it on me. I was like, holy shit. I didn't even
Sweet.
realize that. So it's fun. It's all that stuff comes together. And that's part of why I love doing what we do.
Yeah. Yeah. No, very cool. I have so many metaphysical stories, but I'm actually waiting till I look a little older to share some, and I'm waiting till things come true. But I've had a lot of, sometimes I'll just ask for something and then within 30 seconds I'll get it. And like really specific, like even a person's name. It's a little bit weird.
The
Some people
power of
around me are a little
intention,
scared.
the power of intention and positivity is really
Yeah.
strong. Like I speak
Yes.
to younger people or other people that are just negative and
Yes.
dealing with really trivial problems, and I'm just like, stop dwelling on that and just
Yeah.
like, don't. You're just gonna keep getting the same shit.
Yes. And one quick note, my final thought will be, because we are over time, is that I've played around with karma. There's a book called The Power of Karma. My mom sent to me like 2007. I was like, ah, this lady's crazy. I thought she was dumb or whatever. And I've played around with it, but there's two times in my life, maybe three, where I've knowingly did bad things. Where no one's perfect, but I knowingly knew this was bad. I did at least three times, but the one time it was bad, bad, bad. It felt like God, I remember thinking, it feels like God is pissing on me. Three of my tires popped on my car in a month. I gained 20 pounds. I became disabled. I got leveled. I was getting high on my own supply and I got leveled. And I do think karma comes for you because, again, I'm not saying I'm a saint, but I'm a pretty great person. I help a lot of people. I don't do too many bad things, but those times I did bad things, it was like instant karma, man. So if you don't want to be disabled and, fat and disgusting and lonely and lose your job and lose your house and lose your car and get your car broken into, maybe don't do bad things. That's my final thought. So
Yeah.
George, tell us where to find you.
Okay. Yeah. Well, since I mentioned that I'm documenting this process as I go along,
Yes.
you could go to my YouTube channel, the Night Drive channel on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, and you could subscribe and check out all the updates and videos and behind the scenes. Uh, I'm not going to say the word behind the scenes coverage
Yeah.
of going like the actual process of making an indie film from soup to nuts.
Really cool.
And then I'm on social media also, Night Drive NYC, and
Love
that's
it.
where you can find me. I hope you enjoy the ride, and
Yes.
look forward to the future.
Love it. Thanks so much for being on It Came from the Radio and back to the studio with Mark Torres for more.